Welcome again to another CheapWineFinder.com podcast. This is Champion Dave. And again, we're going to talk about a wine we did a review of on the CheapWineFinder.com website, which is what we do. And this time we have the Fess Parker Santa Barbara Chardonnay 2021, which I picked up at Costco for $13.89. Checking online, the average price is $17, but the prices vary everywhere. I've seen as low as $11, as high as $20, but the average is $17. Fess Parker, in case you don't know or too young to know, was Daniel Boone in 60s TV shows and Davey Crockett in 50s TV shows. And when he was Davey Crockett, it was a cultural phenomenon. Every little kid had a raccoon skin cap. If you ever see pictures of the 50s, you'll see some kid in overalls that are rolled up wearing that hat. And luckily there's any raccoons left, but that was Fess Parker. He was huge. He was in two of the biggest early TV shows, 50s and 60s. And when he finally retired, because he went into production and directing and what have you, in 1988, he bought a winery in Santa Barbara, which is about 100 miles north of Los Angeles, which should be too warm for decent grapes. But there's a part of Santa Barbara that kind of like a triangle juts out into the Pacific Ocean. And so not only do they get Pacific water influence, cold water influence from the west, they also get it from the north and the south. So an area that shouldn't be good is great. And they mostly do Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, and this is a Chardonnay. I'm gonna take a sip. The more inward you go off of the coast, the warmer it gets, and then you get some Rhone varieties and maybe Bordeaux varieties, but it is an excellent area. Actually, Sea Smoke, which makes Pinot Noir, is from Santa Barbara, and they're one of those wines that you got to get on a list to get the wine. I mean, it's a really good one. And this was the Fess Parker was sourced from 7 different vineyards. All, it was down to like 48% this one, 28%, and down to 1% this and 1% that. And all of them were elite vineyards. I mean, they picked some good vineyards here. And it was very precise in what they were looking for. So even though this is a Chardonnay, this is a blended Chardonnay. They needed 1% of the grapes from this because it added this one thing. And 1% here and 48% here because that's the base. That's what it gave this wine, and this 28% gave it something else. So this is a very intentionally made Chardonnay, and it's really nice. It was both fermented and aged in oak barrels, both French and Hungarian oak barrels. French and Hungarian oak are the same species. They're just located differently. Hungary's further east. In France, they would say the French are better, but I think it's just different. But they both should bring the same amount of influence to the wine. And I think Hungarian barrels should be a little bit less expensive than French, and because there's less pressure on the oak. France goes through a lot of barrels. Hungarian has a good wine industry too, but not as much. I'll take another sip. This is a very balanced, seamless Chardonnay. This is my favorite. I know it's only February. This is my favorite Chardonnay of the year. This is a wine that's of one piece. There's no bits that stand out. It's all seamless. It's all got good length. It's all got good flavors. The nose made me think, this might be oaky, maybe too buttery, but no, once you start tasting it, all the oak did is add flavor. And it's got a nice, I think I said it was a stew. It had lemon and green apple and honey and pear and dried pineapple, and then then maybe the mid palate had some nectarine and maybe some of that Anlis nutty, salty thing, and maybe at the end it had something a nice juicy peach going on, but all kind of sleek and lean and really delicious. This is a good Chardonnay. It's been getting 90 plus points from all the wine magazines for the last 3 or 4 vintages, and I can see why. Because this isn't necessarily a value price. I mean, wines that are made to be $10 are made a certain way. I mean, they're not going to be, rarely are fermented in barrel, because that adds something that a stainless steel tank doesn't. Stainless steel tank doesn't allow any air through. A barrel, while it's watertight, isn't exactly 100% airtight, so it adds a little bit to the wine. So it's this is made with high-end production techniques with high-end grapes, but the price isn't. So there you go. It's a win for me. This is the Fess Parker Santa Barbara Chardonnay 2021. I'm enjoying it. So like us where you like your podcasts, and click buttons if you will. Buttons lonely without being pushed. And that's it for me, Domain Dave, cheapwinefinder.com. Keep it cheap. Adios. And I'll be talking to you in a couple of days. I think we got a Valentine's Day one coming up. So I'll be talking to you. Adios. Bye-bye.